Welcome back everyone, and this time it is for UFC Dern vs Hill. Starting with, in the prelim card, we've got 7 fights. First fight of the night takes place in the welterweight division. Takashi Sato takes on Themba Gorimbo. Now Gorimbo lost his debut 3 months ago. Still is the favorite, and Sato faced top competitors, so I would predict Sato to pick up the win either by knockout or technical knockout. Up next, in the women's flyweight division, we got Natalia Silva taking on Victoria Leonardo. Now, Silva is a massive favorite. She hasn't been stopped since joining the UFC, so for this reason, I'm going to predict her to pick up the win by submission. Next, in the lightweight division, we've got Chase Hooper taking on Nick Fiore. Now, they were both undefeated before joining the UFC, and Fiore never been finished actually. Also, he has a 100% finishing rate, but I'm still gonna go and predict Chase Hooper to pick up the win by decision, but we never know. Next, in the heavyweight division, we've got Ilir Latifi taking on Rodrigo Nascimento. Latifi is a veteran. He's on a 2-fight win streak, and Nascimento was undefeated before joining the UFC, so I'm gonna predict Ilir Latifi to pick up the win. I see a knockout or technical knockout, maybe early in the fight, but we'll have to see. Next, in the welterweight division, we've got Oyan Koske taking on Gilbert Urbina. Now Koske is a knockout artist. He's been undefeated before joining the UFC, and Urbina lost his UFC debut back in August 2021, so for that reason I'm going to predict Oyan Koske to pick up the win by decision. Moving on, in the strawweight division, we've got Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Vanessa Demopoulos. Kowalkiewicz is on a 2-fight win streak, while Demopoulos has never been finished, so I'm going to predict Kowalkiewicz to pick up the win by decision, but it can be otherwise. It could very well be Vanessa Demopoulos picking up the win by decision, or maybe a submission, but we'll have to see. Next, final fight of the prelim card takes place in the lightweight division. We'll go back to it as Maheshate takes on Vyacheslav Borshev. Borshev is on a 2-fight losing streak, but he has never been finished, and that's the same for Maheshate. So I don't know. I'm gonna predict Maheshate to pick up the win by decision, but we'll have to see. Both guys never been knocked out or submitted, so it's hard to call who's gonna win and how. Alright, so main card now. We have 5 fights, and we stay in the lightweight division as Diego Ferreira takes on Michael Johnson. Ferreira is a submission specialist, yet he's on a 3-fight losing streak, while Michael Johnson is back in the win column, and he faced top competitors, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, names like that. So I'm going to predict Michael Johnson to pick up the win by decision, but I think it is Diego Ferreira that is the favorite, so we'll have to see. Next, we go back to the welterweight division as Andre Fialho takes on Joaquin Buckley. Now, both of these guys are on a 2-fight losing streak, but they are KO artists. I think Fialho has 11 knockouts and Buckley has 10 knockouts, something like that. They have pretty even records. I think it is 16-6 for Fialho and 15-6 for Buckley, but we have to check. So I don't know. I'm gonna same as it's the same case as the fight before, the last fight of pulling card. I don't know who's gonna win and how, but I'm still gonna say Joaquin Buckley by decision. We'll have to see. We can be surprised. There can be a knockout. They are knockout artists, so it would not be a massive surprise, but we'll have to see. Next, we go back to the strawweight division. Emily Ducote takes on Lupi Godinez. Now, Ducote lost the last fight, while Godinez never been finished. So, no brainer that for me, Godinez is gonna pick up the win by decision. And that's it. I don't see a finish in this fight, but we'll have to see. Next, for the co-main event, we go to the middleweight division as Edmund Shabazian takes on Anthony Hernandez. Now, Shabazian won his last fight, and he is a knockout artist, but Hernandez is on a 3-fight win streak, and he is a submission specialist. I think Shabazian has more experience, and he's going to pick up the win by knockout or technical knockout. We'll have to see. He has been finished in the octagon, so we can never be sure about that. Finally, in the main event, 5-round fight, we go back to the strawweight division as an 8th ranked Mackenzie Dern takes on 14th ranked Angela Hill. Mackenzie Dern never been finished. She lost the last fight to decision, and she's a submission specialist, but I think she has 0 knockouts. She never knocked out people. She never won by that way, so could be interesting to see. And Hill, on the other side, she is on a 2-fight win streak, but she is obviously not the favorite. So if anything happens, I'm gonna predict that Mackenzie Dern pick up the win by submission. I don't see this fight going to a decision. Maybe a surprise knockout from Angela Hill, but as she gained confidence, but I don't know. I'd like to see Mackenzie Dern go back to the win column. And that's it for UFC Dern vs Hill. Now onto some other news, as there have been some news lately in the MMA world and MMA community. I'm going to talk about PFL signings. Yeah, because it's pretty important. If you don't know, they just signed a heavyweight named Francis Ngannou. That was actually the champion, the heavyweight champion in the UFC, but left the company due to contract issues and some others, but I'm not going to talk about. Even the contract issues I'm not going to talk about. Just saying that, yeah, pretty big move from the PFL. So we'll have to see how it goes, but it's like for Francis Ngannou a big move as well, a financial move, and some other things are gonna be finance related. We'll have to see. I just hope it's not going to be a disappointment for him, and how it's gonna play out, because he's not the only one that have been signed to PFL recently. There have been some others, so we'll have to see. This is piquing my interest right now. I have never watched PFL fights as of today, so maybe I'm gonna start look for the matches, the fights that are happening in this promotion, since they are the only one making a sort of tournament, annual tournament. So could be interesting to watch. And that's it for today. So I'm gonna leave you there. See you next time. Bye.